Hey everybody, this is going to be a short video on multiplying fractions. Multiplying fractions is probably the easiest one out of all the other fraction stuff. Most students enjoy multiplying fractions because it's pretty straightforward. If you have, let's say you have this pizza that's divided into 4 pieces and you have one slice of this pizza. And then if someone were to come up to you and say that, hey, I have another pizza as well, and I just have one slice out of that pizza, just like you. So, you have this pizza, and then another person has this. So let's draw that. So basically you're doing is just multiplying by 2, right? So if I were to color this in, so right now you have 2 quarters, right? The first one is 1/4, and the other one is also 1/4. And from your previous videos of adding fractions, you know that 1/4 plus 1/4 is 2/4, which is equal to 1/2. If we wanted to change this into multiplication question, we can say like 1/4. Well, since you have 2 of them, you can say that it's multiplied by 2. So since it's multiplied by 2, we're going to say 2. And anytime you have a whole number, say any number that really just any number like 1, 2, 5, 0, 5, 0, 0, they all have this invisible 1. So they're all over 1 if we were to put it into fraction, right? Put it into your calculator. 500 divided by 1, 500. 50 divided by 1, 50. 2 divided by 1, 2. 1 divided by 1 is 1. So for this one, since like this one doesn't look like a fraction, but it actually can be written in fraction if you put that invisible 1 there. And at the end, when you want to multiply fractions, it's really straightforward because you don't need the bottom numbers to be the same. You don't need a common denominator. You just multiply across. So 1 times 2 is 2. Since we're multiplying, we're multiplying them together. And 4 times 1 is 4, which is reduced to 1/2. So multiplying fractions is pretty straightforward. So let's try another one with different numbers, and hopefully you can get more practice with this. Let's load it up. So if we were to have a question, say 3/5 times 4/6, right? First thing you want to recognize that it's multiplying because it has this multiplying sign. Another way to write this to show multiplying is to use brackets. So we can have 3/5 bracket and then another bracket 4/6. Notice that there's no signs here, so there are no signs, so that means that this is multiplying as well. You can also have 3/5 with a dot, 4/6, that means multiplying as well. So when you see a multiplying question, first thing you really have to do is just multiply across. 3 times 4, 12, over 5 times 6, 30. And this can be further reduced to, I think if we were to divide all of these ones, let's try 2, and try 2, this will give you 6/15. So that's your answer when you multiply 3/5 times 4/6. It's hard to see when you have two fractions multiplied by each other. That's why it's a good way to know that you just have to multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together. And that's it. What about if we were to have a fraction that has negative numbers? So let's see, -3/7. We'll use brackets this time. So brackets and brackets. Let's use 9/8, an improper fraction. So first thing, like I said, recognize that this is a multiplying question. So you can see that there are 2 brackets. So this is multiply because you have 2 brackets side by side. And then when you know that it's multiplying fractions, all you have to do is multiply the top number. So -3 times 9 is -27. And then the bottom 2 numbers, 7 times 8, that is 56. And that's your answer. I think maybe you can reduce this one, but I'm just going to leave it for this one for now. But you can see that you have your negative sign times this invisible positive sign, which is your negative. What if we were to have a number that has two negatives? So negative 8 over 3, I keep using 3 for some funny reason, negative 4 over 5. So you have two negatives. That's actually, two negatives will make a positive, so your sign will combine to a positive. 8 times 4 is 32, and 3 times 5 is 15. So multiplying fractions, as you can see, is a lot simpler than adding or subtracting fractions because you're just multiplying. If we wanted to make this even more complicated, say have a negative sign on the outside of the bracket, negative 3 over, say, 2, bracket, negative 3 over 2. So in this case, you have a lot of different signs. Break it down, simplify them. When you see two signs like this, combine them. Since they're multiplying negative and a negative, we make a positive. So these two signs will just combine to a positive sign. So basically, you just combine those two signs to make positive 3 over 2. We'll have the bracket still, and the bracket of the other one, negative 3 over 2. That just basically looks like the ones that we have been doing. So positive times a negative is negative. 3 times 3 is 9. Multiply these two numbers together. 2 times 2, 4. That's your answer. Okay, multiplying fractions, multiply across. And that's all you have to know. So stay tuned for the next one on division or dividing fractions.